Hi, welcome to SBR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our regular MLB series betting preview show that we do with Troy West twice a week. Right now it is Wednesday, August 13th, and we're going to take a look ahead to the upcoming series for this weekend. Troy, thanks for being back with us.
Hey, thanks a lot, Pete. I appreciate it. A lot of successful information that we provided, but I do got to say, a lot of unexpected stuff going on in the MLB. A lot of the teams that I thought would make a real strong push have hit some losing streaks, and some of the teams that I wasn't quite sure would have been hotter than hell. So it'll be interesting to see how things close out. But what a great season it's been so far, and an awesome playoff race in both sides in both leagues right now, Pete.
But that's what handicapping baseball is all about, like surfing the wave, riding the wave, and figuring out which way teams are going. That is in a different direction than what they might have been past few weeks or the past month. That's where the value can be found. So, but you know all about that. How have things been going at allplayswin.com recently in baseball? I know overall you've had a great year, right?
Overall, it's been an outstanding year, Pete. We have struggled as a bit, continuing to lose one-run ball games. It's been quite the theme over the last week or so. One-run ball games with teams that you really felt that would really pick up their game. One of those teams, the Detroit Tigers. But nonetheless, it's been an outstanding year. Really looking forward to more of the NFL preseason and really gearing up for that first week of college football, Pete. We got a couple games circled already that we feel are really as good as it gets.
All right, awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to talking about football with you. And last year you had a great record in football. You did it with basketball this year. But right now we're talking about baseball. I got three series here that I'm thinking might have some value. We'll see if you agree with me or not. The first one, Arizona at Miami. Now, I was talking before about surfing the wave, riding the wave of the trends that these teams are on. And as you know, I'm a little bit of in auto fade mode when it comes to Arizona right now. Again, since they lost Goldschmidt, their offense has taken a step down. It wasn't that great to begin with. Obviously, their pitching isn't enough to prop them up. So I'm looking to fade them against any team that is looking decent that they're matched up against. And they're going up against Miami. Miami's been a solid team, profitable at home this year, plus 6.5% ROI at home on the year. And they've been particularly profitable in July and August, about plus 17% ROI in July and August. That's about plus 6.5 units. So they're a solid team. So when we have Arizona going up against a solid team, I'm taking the solid team. You think Miami has some value this weekend?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Miami's been one of the surprises I've been looking at, Pete. You look at what they did against the St. Louis Cardinals. They're finally starting to be consistent hitting the ball, and that pitching staff's just been outstanding. That first game, you're going to have Brad Hand going. He's been really quite the sleeper this year. Most of that pitching staff has. Pete Henderson Alvarez has been great. Tom Gouliar has been great. I like it. You got to go against the Diamondbacks right now. The Miami Marlins are one of the hottest teams, and coming off a sweep, I think they continue, and I think they win that series.
All right, sounds good. I'm in agreement. That's how I'm thinking. And then we got KC at Minnesota. That's another series that caught my eye, and I'm thinking about taking KC here. Now, KC has actually been the most profitable team in the majors in August, plus 65% ROI. They're in the midst of a big winning run right now. They have done it against some sluggish and relatively unimpressive competition. So of course KC's going to come crashing down to earth. No one's under the illusion that they're some kind of like world beaters right now, but I think they're decent when they're playing against that kind of sluggish competition, and I think that might be the case in their upcoming series against Minnesota. Minnesota, they haven't actually been overvalued on the year. They're actually plus 0.5% ROI overall, but they are minus 7% ROI at home. KC's plus 14% ROI on the road, and I just see KC as a more lively team right now. Minnesota, similar to the competition that KC's been playing and beating. So what do you think? KC has some value maybe?
I think KC has some value. This pitching staff for Kansas City has just been outstanding with James Fields, Ventura, Guthrie. We know Danny Duffy's been really well, and right now they're hitting the baseball. This is a really good Kansas City team that really has come to life now that Detroit's really fallen off the ladder. So I think Kansas City's really riding this wave, and until they lose 2-3 in a row, I would continue to ride it. Minnesota, like you said, Pete, they're going to have the pitching edge every game in that series. So continue to go with Kansas City until they prove us otherwise. But do I think this is a team that will win that wild card? I'm not quite sure, but right, at least for right now, while they're hot, you got to go with Kansas City.
Yeah, wild card. I don't care. Couldn't care less about the wild card. All I care about is betting value this weekend. All right, and then the third series we want to discuss is San Diego at St. Louis, and I'm thinking about unders here. St. Louis, of course, enormous undertrender on the year, but it has evened out recently. 50-50 on their totals in August and just 54% unders in July. So, things are evening out for San Diego, but, they're going into St. Louis. St. Louis is looking like one of these teams, kind of a flat lineup, but pretty solid, decent pitching, so that should keep scoring relatively low. The weather shouldn't be too bad. They're generally a pitcher-friendly park. St. Louis has been a small under-trender on the year, like a 54, 55%-ish under team, so I'm thinking, even though San Diego's totals have evened out recently, I'm thinking this might be a series with some pressure towards the under, so I'm thinking maybe we bet unders here. What do you think?
Yeah, no, that's exactly what I had circled, Pete. I hate to agree with you on all three, but no, I'm going to go with the unders as well. This series just happened not too long ago in San Diego, and it looked like the unders were quite the bet. You got Tyson Ross going in that first game against Lance Lynn. We know that's two real solid pitchers. We know Adam Wainwright, he struggled against the Miami Marlins. I like the fact that he's going in the series, and I think he will bounce back. And I just think overall, Pete, like you said, San Diego very much struggling to hit the ball. They have hit the ball better as of late, which may be something that helps the totals in this series just because Lakers may start them a little bit higher than the 6.5 range. But overall, I'm going to go with the unders. I think the pitching matchups look favorable in that.
All right, good. Well, I think maybe, hopefully among these three series we'll come out with, 1 or 2 units of profit this week, as has been the case for most of the year. My recommended series are up about 15 units overall in the year. That's not too shabby, Troy West. What do you think about that?
Not too shabby at all. No, that's been outstanding. I don't even know, as a handicap or somebody that does this for full time, you might have to look for a part-time job.
Yeah.
No, it's been great. I think people need to keep an eye on what we're doing, and hopefully we can have continued success throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, I hope people have been following and appreciating what we've done. All right, that's all I have for this upcoming weekend. Is there anything else that you want to discuss, Troy?
One great series, and I don't want to come out with a bold prediction, but I do think Seattle right now, Pete, extremely hot, playing great baseball. They're going into Detroit. That's going to be a great series. One of those series you just keep an eye on. I'm going to go with the small lean on Seattle just because they are hot. And this Detroit team, we obviously know Sanchez has hit the DL. We know Soria's hit the DL. We know where Verlander's at. This is a team that's really, really struggling. And Seattle right now, hotter than a pistol. That's going to be an outstanding series with a lot on the line. It is in Detroit. So I'm going to go. I think Seattle's going to be dogs in all those games. Yeah. Slight lean on Seattle in that series.
That's actually one of the series that was borderline for me about talking about this on this show. I had it circled, and Seattle has been a particularly good bet on the road this year. And like you said, they will probably be a dog. You want to go officially on the record with Seattle, or just you wanted to mention it?
Official on the record. Okay,
all right. Thanks so much, Troy West from allplayswin.com. Thanks so much, and we'll talk again very soon.